Welcome to another episode of Kicking It with Coach C. I'm your host, Diante Richardson, here kicking it with my favorite coach, Isaac Collins. How are you today, Coach?
Good. Doing well. Doing well.
That's good. Recapping week 4 of our 2011 championship campaign, we took a slight step back, suffering a loss to Wilkes University this week, 35-27. Coach, where did we go wrong this week?
Well, I think there's a lot of things that we were up against. You know, we talked about it a little bit last week on the show. We talked about it all week as a football team. They had a lot to play for. They had homecoming. They were dedicating a field. They were trying to get their first win. I mean, it's a case where anytime you go into those types of environments, ultimately what happens is that, if you're not ready, if you're not clicking on all cylinders, you're going to find yourself in a dogfight, and that's definitely what took place on Saturday for us.
Okay. Well, let's take a look on how we got to this point. Let's take a look at the first half. Right now. Out the gate, big defensive stop here as sophomore defensive end Darius Johnson was able to spin off a blocker and get to the quarterback.
Well, we knew we had to, get in his face early, and this was a great way to start the game, 3 and out. We got him in a 3rd and long situation where they had to throw the ball downfield.
And once again, off the edge, this time sophomore defensive end Trevor Hicks is not fooled by the zone option and gets to the quarterback for a huge sack.
It's a great job by him just reading his keys and executing his assignment.
And one more time, another play by the defensive end. This time, big number 33, Chad Gravininski, is in for the tackle for their loss.
There's a good squeeze down here as you see him as he crashes off the edge here and lights the back up in the backfield. So it was a great job by Chad.
Coach, it just seemed like the defensive line was able to make a lot of plays this half.
They did a great job. They really did. They were patient. They handled their assignments. So it was great way to start the game.
Switching to offense, here we see quarterback Chris Hopp being able to hook up with freshman Anthony Davis out in space.
Well, it was great to see Anthony have a great day. He had 8 catches on the day, so it was phenomenal for a young receiver, freshman, to be able to get into the column in terms of catching a lot of balls for us.
And down in the red zone, we were able to capitalize and punch in with the senior fullback, Brendan Curtin. On the option, freshman tailback Huve Lafayette gets the pitch and digs upfield for a first down. The tailback seemed to have a monstrous day, Coach, fighting for every inch, every time he got the ball.
Well, it was good that we were able to get those guys going a little bit. We certainly talked about it all week. We need to be able to run the football, and it was good that those guys stepped up to the challenge and banged away and got us some tough yards all day.
Once again, here you see him digging upfield, fighting for every inch. So, Coach, going into halftime down 21-7, you stressed to the team that we could no longer take this team lightly. If we did at any point, we needed to come out on the second half firing on all cylinders. What do you think about that?
Well, we wanted to, definitely by any means put ourselves in a position where we're able to, battle our way back. We wanted to play it one possession at a time. We wanted to be in a situation where we were kind of fixing everything so that in the second half, if we could make the corrections, make the adjustments, it would put us in a position where, come the 4th quarter, it's a closer game. And that was our only goal, because when you're down 21-7, you can't get, there's no play that we have where you can score 14 points. So we wanted to make sure we were being patient. We wanted to make sure that we're doing the little things right and that we executed better. So in terms of, taking them lightly, I don't think our guys did that. I just think that, in terms of our execution, it wasn't very good in the first half, and it put us behind.
Okay. Good point, Coach. Well, let's take a look at the second half and see how the game was concluded. In the second half, the defense came out fighting as last week's defensive player of the game, Dylan Dittmer, was able to force a fumble, the first of many to come in this half.
Well, we had talked about it at halftime that we needed to find a way to get the ball turned over and get our offense some more opportunities and get them good field position. So it was a case where this was a great one here. We were hustling around. The guys able to jump on it, certainly set the table for our offense with pretty good field position.
Yeah, big senior safety Brad Waltman is able to force the fumble in the turnover. And once again, number 22 checks in another big-time run, putting the team on his back, trying to rally a second-half comeback.
It was good to see him run hard all day. I was very proud of him.
Also, sophomore tailback Terrant Morrison was able to clock in some pretty big runs himself.
Terrant did a great job all day. Those two complemented each other very well.
Number 12 finds sophomore receiver Dennis Woolley deep in Wilkes territory, and offense clocks in Clocks one in by Terrant Morrison, who runs over the defender into the end zone, which we were having problems with early in the game, finishing.
It was good to see him close out in the red zone.
Big defensive tackle John Philpott clocks in a sack as well, also from the defensive line. Just getting to the quarterback all game was a big part of the defensive team. Now as the offense is led by quarterback Chris Hop, he puts together a great drive with a flurry of passes, marching down the field, and is sealed by a touchdown pass to Anthony Davis. What happened during this drive?
Well, I tell you, it was great. He spread the ball around. We got our tight ends involved. He was dumping it to the backs. He was taking what the defense was giving him. You know, as you see here, tight ends running hard, running through tackles. You know, so it was a great drive to watch from the sideline because he was in rhythm, and I think that's key for our offense to keep Chris in rhythm. You know, when he's spreading the ball around, that's when he's at his best.
Good here. See another big-time catch by the freshman Anthony Davis, trying to make something happen to get this second half on the way, coach.
It was great to see him climb the ladder to go up and get this one.
Yeah, he pretty got up there. I was pretty surprised on the sideline. And at the end of the drive, you see it clocked in by Dennis Woolley. No, actually, no, I'm sorry. That was Anthony Davis finishing the drive right there. Well, closing on the upsetting defeat of Wilkes, Coach. Well, no. Coach, as the highlights close down, it seems that with little more time on the clock, we could have gotten back in this game. What do you think about that?
Well, I think there's you know, always an opportunity when there's time on the clock. You know, I think for us, the thing that I was pleased with is the guys did play to the final gun. You know, and that's all you can ask. You know, our hope is, you know, as we go forward, that guys learn from this, we grow from it, and we understand that, you know, you can't have 5 turnovers, you can't come out and have a slow start against anyone in the MAC conference, because on any given day in this conference you can get beat. You know, and I think our guys certainly learned, you know, as they went through the day that, you know, we got to make sure we're practicing better, we got to make sure we're doing the little things to put us in position so that if we're in a close ball game, we're able to have some success.
Here in the last touchdown of the day, Dennis Woolley clocks in a reception and a TD. One more time from a different angle. He went up in there and climbed the ladder as well, Coach.
Yes. It was good to see him catch that with his hands as well.
Okay, well, closing on the upsetting defeat to Wilkes, we look forward to this week's MAC opponent, Kings College, as the Pride will be celebrating our university's homecoming. With so much on the line and the conference championship still in sight, Coach, what do we need to do to get the W this week?
Well, I think for us, we got to, you know, go back to the basics. You know, we have to put ourselves in a position where we're not thinking about championships anymore. We're not thinking about homecoming. We're thinking about how we get better in practice today. I think that that's the first step. Okay, the second step is got to be execution consistently. You know, we didn't do that on Saturday. You know, when we executed, we put ourselves in a position where we could have a ton of success. We were able to move the football. We were able to get stops. We got to get back to that type of football. You know, so that's going to be the #1 goal this week in our preparation, is getting back to the basics, getting back to the fundamentals.
Well, we look forward to it this week, Coach. I look forward to getting back to work this week. But that's all the time that we have for today. As always, I'm Diante Richardson, and come and kick it with me and Coach C next week. Peace.